Hello and welcome back. My name is Richard Luby and I'm the founder of Talk the Walk Disability Inclusion Consulting. You are watching Talk the Walk TV, a platform for individuals, companies, and communities to discuss all things related to the disability community. In past shows, I have discussed a collaboration that I work closely with Jay Stoyan, the founder of the Disability Channel out of Canada. As you can see, the setup is a little bit different because we're lucky enough to have Jay Stoyan on the line as we speak. We're going to be discussing with him past, present, and future of the steps within the Disability Channel. So, Jay Stoyan, are you on the line?
Hey, Rich, thanks for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to join you today.
Of course, no, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. I was just telling the viewers and listeners that we had you on the line, and I just want to start off by saying, thank you very much for what you do, and a lot of the listeners and viewers, they really don't know what you do. Can you give us a quick introduction about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you for the invite once again. I just want to let people down in the States know that you're actually being streamed live on our channel up here in Canada. So right now I am on a live camera talking to you, and it's going across to Canada and across the globe on our Roku outlets. So congratulations, Richard, for all you do.
No, thank you very much. And the same goes for you and your team. It's an honor and a privilege, and I look forward to growing with you guys.
Yeah, this is great. So let me give your viewers especially a little bit of insight on what we do up here in Canada, down in the States, and across the globe. So again, this is a disability channel, a channel by and for persons with disabilities, showcasing abilities on television. And we do that through original content, like shows of your own, Talk the Walk, we have a couple autism shows, we have a brain injury show, we have music shows, we have two wonderful new shows that we introduced this week called Health Talk Matters, which is a show put on by OPSWA, which is Ontario and probably Canada's largest support workers. It's called Ontario Personal Support Workers Association. They have 21,000 caregivers under their umbrella where they go across Ontario, and it's actually growing across Canada. And it's great because we do want to bring this down to the U.S. And again, it's registered caregivers who give personal touch, caregiving to people who really need it. That could be seniors, that could be disabled people, that could be youth, infants, whoever. And then we also introduced a show called ADL, which is Accessible Daily Living. They focus on renovating businesses and residents for people with tough time getting around, with people with disabilities, obviously. So we're very excited along with your show. We're the only channel in the world where our focus is persons with disabilities. We're really big now. We've brought on a great associate called Alware out of Ontario. It is an Ontario Disability Employment Agency, and what they do is they actually train disabled people so they can show their abilities within television and film, and we have now become a job placement for the Ontario government, and especially Alware, where, again, Frank, he is the owner of the company. Him and his wonderful team of Liz and many more people, they train people in specific needs, so it could be from camera work to editors to producers, writers. Then we also go into the HR department, PR department, production assistants, and we hire people with disappointment obstacles. But on our platform, nobody has obstacles if we have abilities. So we're very excited. There's so much to get into, but I'll let you jump in because you're the host.
No, not a problem, not a problem. I'm glad that you went through that. It sounds like you guys have a lot of great things going on. It sounds also you have your hand in many different hats revolving around the disability community, which is a great thing. Your channel is giving great exposure to all the different issues, policies, concerns, and also solutions for the disability community. But before we dive into that, and I took notes to make sure we go back to certain things, I would like, now that you gave an introduction about the Disability Channel, can you give more of an introduction about who you are? What made you become a host of the Disability Channel? What made you become a founder, shall I say? What brought you to that? A lot of times when I'm discussing with guests, there's usually a personal connection. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, Richard. Great question, by the way. For myself, I also have a disability. I have a form of malaria. The actual name of my illness is called familial Mediterranean fever. For layman terms, let's just say I have an illness which is like a fever on steroids. So when I just want to say, when other people in society get sick and they get a fever, well, I get a fever about 10 times that. Plus, I have all different types of symptoms. It's a genetic thing, so I've had it my whole life. So I went around all of North America from the Mayo Clinic, spent a large part of my youth living at Hospital for Sick Kids here in Toronto. What a fantastic hospital. Until the point where I was about 12 years old, and the doctor just said, "We really don't know what you have, Jay, so, let's see what we can do." And I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to maintain it and just live with it and see how I do. And feel very blessed and honored that I've been able to maintain it. And when I talk about my disability, it's not compared to some other people. So I'm very blessed and honored to have my illness, because I know what other people go through, because I see it, and we communicate and interact with people like that all day. So jumping forward, so I had my illness, but I guess I'm 51 years old now, so I think for 46 years I've pretty much hid my illness. I didn't hide it, but I didn't really promote it. My family knew, my close friends knew, but employers sure the heck didn't know, and other people who you just meet in your daily life didn't know either, just because, I just didn't feel like sharing. So fast forward, I was a corporate guy in downtown Toronto. That's where our studio is based, in downtown Toronto, the best city in the world. No offense against Connecticut.
Whoa. All of a sudden, we may have some phone difficulties.
So I was a corporate guy for about 20 years. I also am a published author. You can find my book online and in stores. And that really catapulted me into the film and television business, where I teamed up with some great film producers, and I used to throw industry parties once they wrapped their show, film or movie, in downtown Toronto, and that led into the film business. And I just got into the internet world. I got hired to do a job as a television talk show host via sports. I expanded that. I went on to our local community channel, just like you guys, Comcast down in the States. We have the same thing up here at Rogers. So I was on Rogers hosting a late-night talk show host, a la Johnny Carson. So it was a variety. So I had musical guests, I had athletes, I had actors, I had advocates, all different types of people, interesting people on my show, from let's just say Frank Sinatra Jr., to Don Cherry, to Ronnie Hawkins, to the list goes on and on. Penelope Cruz, we interviewed Jeff Bridges, many, many more great people. And then I got picked up by Fox, so I was on Fox south of the border in your great country, the U.S., which I love so much. We were on there for a while. And then I just sort of started to I wanted to broaden my horizon, and I just thought, what can I do? And then Hanson just came to me one day that, Jay, you know what, you should really combine your experience on the camera, perhaps with your disability, and create something new to the world called the Disability Channel. And like I said, we are the only inclusive channel in the world, which you can find us on Roku TV, which is a free subscription. And you can also go to our website, www.thedisabilitychannel.ca, and you can find us on Comcast in Connecticut, and hopefully that's just the beginning. Same thing up here in Toronto, Richard, is what we're doing, is we're trying to bring our original content, our original TV shows, to all of the local community networks across the land and around the world, because we believe what we have here, which is the Disability Channel teamed up with a disability employment agency. Our goal is to have every major city around the world have what we have here in Toronto.
A lot of good information, and I'm glad that you gave a background story. There's other things that I just wrote down. I want to go into what you were just discussing about your channel, more involved in how does somebody get involved, what are the type of shows you are currently looking for, and if, let's say, somebody wants to get involved, but maybe they're afraid and not sure how to express or celebrate, like I like to say, celebrate their abilities. Those are some things that I want to dive into. We're going to cut to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be back with Jay Stoyan. So what is Talk the Walk? Talk the Walk is a mobile Connecticut-based organization providing interactive disability inclusion consulting for companies, communities, and educational establishments to promote all-inclusive environments. This ranges from D&I readiness training to strategic initiative development and implementation. These initiatives are customized, implemented to complement the overall needs of our clients. The overall goal for each of our clients that we partner with is for them to realize that there is always ability beyond one's disability. As a result, they can enjoy a self-sustaining disability inclusion initiative that becomes ingrained in their company and community culture and delivers on specific business drivers. Hey, welcome back. I'm Richard Luby with Talk the Walk TV, the founder of Talk the Walk Disability Inclusion Consulting. I'm lucky and proud to have a guest on the line. His name is Jay Stoyan. He is the founder of the Disability Channel, an international platform showcasing the abilities of individuals within the disability community. Jay Stoyan, you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, Richard. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Thank you once again for coming on and discussing some topics with us. For the guests that are just joining us, we were discussing kind of a background story of Jay Stoyan and how he got involved within television and also within the disability community. He has a personal connection. But now we kind of want to go dive in a little bit deeper. His platform, once again, is internationally, and it's through the internet, and he would like to discuss how you can become more involved. There are a lot of people within the disability community. I also, with the ability of cerebral palsy, and one of those individuals, and I myself have a show, and I'd like to say, if you don't know, I'm lucky enough to partner with the Disability Channel, and I myself am showcasing this show on the Disability Channel. So if you're ever interested in having a show yourself, let's discuss with Jay and how that could be brought about. Jay, first question. Somebody is listening right now, and they have a disability, and they want to showcase their ability, they want to celebrate it. How do they start a show?
Great question, Richard. Very easy. First of all, you can connect with me, again, through our Twitter account, which is at JStoyan, JAYSTOYN. So you can just connect with me, and all you have to put is, I love your channel, how can I get involved? Or you can go to our website, www.thedisabilitychannel.ca, or you can actually email me, jay@thedisabilitychannel.ca. So just sort of, here it is. Our channel is completely different from every other channel. We are more about the message, Richard, than we are about the bottom line, because we all know that people with disabilities, they have obstacles that able people just do not have. So you have to really keep that in mind. So you have to be understanding, you have to show kindness, you have to be patient, you have to be really hands-on, because I tell you right now, bringing on a disabled person onto your team is like no other experience, because they are extremely loyal, extremely hardworking, and just lovely opportunities. So for all corporations out there who think, oh my goodness, you know what? Give us a chance. You will be surprised, because all we want to do is shock you on how good we can do the task. So again, what we look for is we look for a person who fits our mold. Like if you're going to be on television as a host, but we can also put you behind the camera. You don't have to be on the camera all the time. But for places like you, Richard, often down in Connecticut, we're looking to branch out. We're looking to bring hosts on. So what you would need is obviously to have the skills to be on there, right? Like you have to have certain skills, which you have to be a little bit outgoing. You have to be able to speak well. You have to be interesting. You have to have a concept and a topic. So let's just take, for instance, we just started a new show called Hockey Talk with Jeff Ford, a terrific gentleman. He's out in British Columbia. He has a strong connection to the NHL, which we found out his dad is actually Bob Ford, who played with the New York Islanders, who won 4 Stanley Cups. Now, that has nothing to do with the outcome. Because what happened is, like yourself, Richard, Jeff found me, I believe it was on Twitter, but it could have been on Facebook. Again, at Jay Stoyan, you can just find me. And he went, hey, Jay, I love what you do. I would like to get involved. So what we said is, well, how would you like to get involved, Jeff? What is your passion? What are your goals? What do you like to do? He goes, well, I'd love to talk about disability issues, and I love sports. And I went, very interesting. Okay, so I asked him what your disability is. We love people with disabilities to be a part of our team. I have a disability. That's our club. And our club is the largest club in the world, 1.1 billion, and growing by the minute. So we're an extremely diverse crowd. We take anybody. Come on in our club. We want you. So what happened with Jeff is I said, okay, Jeff, send me some ideas what you'd like to do. So he sent me an idea, and what it was a sports show. So I said, great. Do you have any means? Do you have any tools? Do you get a hold of the camera? Yeah, I have that stuff. It's probably not like your studio equipment, but I have good stuff. I said, great. Why don't you, I'll give you the specs, shoot me a 2-minute promo, send it to me. So anybody out there, again, I'll just tell this to everybody, Richard, if disabled people are watching our show, which I hope they are, they're watching the show and they go, wow, I'd love to get interested. I have a show. Well, let's just say politics. Crazy subject right now, but
to say the least. To say the least, yes. I said to say the least. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's millions of people in the States who are just glued to the TV. So I would love to have a U.S. political show on our dial. So all of you have to do is go, wow, I know politics, but you have to know what you're talking about. So whether it's politics, hockey, arts and crafts, music, disability advocacy, brain injury, whatever, you have to know what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you submit a 2-minute promo via YouTube, send it to me on your iPhone, Jay Stoyan, at Jay Stoyan, J at the disabilitychannel.ca, and I'll take a look at it, and then if it's good or whatever, or even if it's not good, I'll email you back and I'll let you know the new specs that you need to do. That's kind of pretty easy. You did it, Richard.
Yeah.
Now, you're at a little bit of a different level because you actually went into a studio in Connecticut and did the full Monty. You went full out, which is great, and you can do that too. But what I say is, if you have an interest in television, if you have an interest in helping the Disability Channel, email me, tweet me, and I'll help you out. Absolutely, 100%. So give us a call. We want you on our dial.
Jay, great information. And just to let you know, Jay, and the listeners and viewers, we'll have all the information below on the screen as I'm speaking right now. And also at the end of the show, I'll have some information that you could reach out to via email or online.
Great.
Jay, great information. Two other things I wanted to mention before we get going. The one is, you mentioned how I walked into a studio. I want the listeners and viewers to realize that you mentioned also Comcast. There are many different local television studios available for their residents and their subscribers. You just have to go there and call them and ask. It's to residents, small towns. You look online. Specifically, Comcast has local studios throughout Connecticut and other states. Just do your research. Don't think just because you don't have a studio. You may have a studio. Do your research, and if you need help, you could also reach out to Jay or myself, and I can assist with that. There are a lot of resources out there. People just don't know of them. Jay, one thing that you mentioned is you're looking to expand, and we were talking about new shows and things like that, and reaching out to you to get started. But you said you were looking to cross the border into the U.S., to like similar shows like Talk the Walk TV. Are you looking for kind of ambassadors? If people do know about local television shows, what about agencies, nonprofit, town committees that might want to have their own shows on the disability topics? You would welcome them, obviously, correct?
Yeah, that's a great point. I love that, Richard, because first I have to give a big shout out to Comcast, because what you just said is remarkable. So, again, I want to make sure that we have what you just said correct. I want to make sure our listeners up here in Canada and across the states have it correct. So you're saying that if you are disabled in the U.S. and you contact your local Comcast provider / station, they will, now again, you got to go through all the details, but if everything checks off, they will let you come into their studio, use their facility, and shoot a disabled-focused show.
Correct. Now, you have to go through a small training, which I did a few months. There are some very talented individuals that help you with the production aspect of that. And but yes, especially local community stations are always looking for programming. They have this station and it's available. For example, I believe when I check into this studio, all I see in a month is my signature and somebody else's. There's a total maybe of 3 people that utilize this studio in a month time. So think about that. There's access here just being underutilized.
Wow. Well, we have to, I love that, because I remember we sort of discussed this, but This is super, like, what a great opportunity. So we're going to really have to be able to, we're going to start a campaign, and we're going to reach out across the U.S. into every community, focusing on the disability community, whether that's individuals, organizations, or corporations, to say, hey, you guys need to take advantage of this opportunity. Richard has already done it. He already has a template, so you can go through Richard. And of course, the Disability Channel will be there to support you all the way. We're here in Canada, but you have your guy in the States called Richard Luby. Talk a lot. He's doing exactly what we just talked about. So you are talking a lot. So again, we need to get the word out, Richard. Your station, together, the three of us, we need to start to promote that like mad, because what a great opportunity that is for our community.
Yeah, it's things. It's just a whole nother step in the right direction in terms of the disability community and showcasing, like your tagline, the abilities, showcasing abilities. We have about 8 more minutes, and I wanted to touch on one more question and then go to you for any other insights or leave-behinds that you'd like to leave with the audience. The last question I have is, you mentioned that you just partnered up with an agency running employment training, correct?
Yes.
Now, is this with transitional students?
This was anybody who is, I guess, under the guidelines of the Ontario Disability Support Program. That's just like our program up in Ontario, where they subsidize or they actually assist people with funding. But again, I'm not that person, so I'm just sort of the liaison between them, Alware, which is the actual company that talks about disability, and obviously TV. So I get the person who's trained, ready to go, and we put them in position. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get the government, because I have the 4 government parties up here in Ontario, which is the Ontario Green Party, PC Party, Liberal, and NDP. I have them all involved in our station, because together we are making the lives better for persons with disabilities.
Phenomenal. I brought that back up because I think there needs to be more programs like that, transitioning from, whether it be school or whatever the past may be, transitioning to hands-on training for individuals with disabilities is a huge plus, because let's say a lot of individuals with disabilities may have been out of work for a while, may have not gone into work at all, and to expect certain individuals, not all, but certain individuals, just to jump into a full-time job without any training is fairly unrealistic.
Well, you know what this is really good for too, and we're currently in the midst of doing this, is reaching out to our veterans, north and south of the border, who lay their lives on the line. They go and they protect our country, give us the right to have a freedom of speech, and then they come home, and a lot of them are going through some struggles, and this is a perfect opportunity for veterans. So veterans north and south of the border, we would love to give you guys a platform. We would love to give you guys your own shows on our channel. We'd be honored, actually.
That was a great mention, because that is something that I work closely with too, individuals of disabilities, and including veterans with service-related disabilities, especially when we're talking about transitioning. That is key as well. Putting your life on the line and being trained to be a certain way. It's kind of tough sometimes to bring your training back military-wise and then go into a corporate job. There are a lot of tasks that are transferable, but there needs some assistance in training and easing into that process. So I love that you mentioned that.
That's great. And then, so I just want to say, the way to really get the word out is to join our Roku TV platform. It's a free subscription. You can get Roku through buying one of your new TVs. The icons are built right on there, along with like YouTube or Major League Baseball and CNN. And then there's TVC. It's a free subscription. You can download it. You can see all the many shows. We would love to add more shows to our dial. We also would love to add more sub-channels to our dial. So big corporations like Rexall or Walgreens or Easter Seals, they shoot millions and millions or hundreds and hundreds of videos. Those videos need to be showcased. They need to get out there to the people who actually need to watch them. So again, we're offering our platform. Roku TV is a worldwide platform for all of our disability community out there. And we also have a sharing platform where if you shoot great inspirational or positive disability videos and you have your own YouTube channel, we would love to share those videos worldwide. We don't own them. We just promote them for you guys. We're here for you. We're a voice for the disability community.